Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where a police officer forcibly pulled a woman out of her vehicle and then detained her for no reason. The officer was then caught on body cam footage making up fake charges against her. On May 30th, 2022, two officers with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office were out on patrol duty when they observed a vehicle passing by with a broken headlight. Generally, this gives law enforcement a justified reason to initiate a traffic stop. So, naturally, the officers pursued the vehicle with lights and sirens on, and soon enough, the driver pulled over to the side of the road and came to a complete stop. This ridiculous encounter was captured on both officers' body cams, and we will look at both perspectives to figure out how and where the officers violated the innocent driver's rights. Now watch as the officers approach the vehicle with the sole aim of escalating the situation immediately.
Just go over there and let her know.
Oh yeah, can I get out and leave, go home?
Yeah, you can. You're a passenger.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you're the passenger.
Hey.
Are you?
What are you guys doing? I live there.
Yeah, what is
What are
this?
you
Okay, my
Calm
tail
down.
light is open. Calm
Hey,
down.
stop talking. Just stop talking. Stop talking. I'm good.
Okay, go whatever
If
you
you're
need to
going
do.
Okay,
you do.
what's your name?
I'd like to talk to. I'm good.
I
don't
own
wanna
the
talk to
property,
you.
right?
Do you have a middle name? And what's your date of birth?
Oh my God, he's gonna stand here and give you a goddamn lecture. Do whatever you need to do. You've gotten the information. He's a passenger. This is nuts. You are too young to be doing
Hey,
this.
can you step out of the car,
No, go on with what
Don't
you need. You have
shut
my
up.
name, you have my birthday. What other information do you need? You can look up by that address and you can find my name. That's me.
please? I
Yes.
need you to step out, okay?
No, I don't need to step out.
I'm good.
Go whatever
If you're
you
going
need
any
to do.
further with anything, I'd like to talk to a
Let's
supervisor.
go.
I'm
Okay.
good. I don't
own
want to
the
talk to you
property
anymore.
Right there.
So here's the deal.
South Highway
I understand you
89.
don't want to talk, but I am going to talk.
Yes.
Currently, we are doing a traffic stop. I'm not going to let you just go off across the street. You are not free to go at this current moment in time.
I'm going to
For all I
Oh
know.
my God, he's gonna stand here and give you a goddamn lecture. Do whatever you need to do. You've gotten the information.
Hey, have her step out.
This started because you said my headlight is out.
Yeah.
You don't do all of this for a headlight. My father's a police officer. You are completely out of line, both of you.
Okay.
This is nuts.
Here's the deal.
We need to call your supervisor.
supervisor
Get your
now.
supervisor out here now. And you need to explain to them what the
I'm
you're
about
doing.
to pull my wife out
Yeah,
of the car.
this is
Get the
nuts.
supervisor.
Yeah.
Get
Stop
your
talking,
supervisor.
Becky. Stop talking. Get the supervisor.
Get your supervisor out
Step
here
out of the
now.
car now.
The driver here is a local resident, Becky Bailey, and Officer Gillais was the one who approached the driver's side of the vehicle and made initial contact with her. As we've seen in the footage, Officer Gillais completely neglected the need to inform Ms. Bailey about the reason for the traffic stop. Instead, he jumped straight into gathering her personal information in a rather unfriendly manner. It's also worth noting that the second officer, who was on the passenger side of the vehicle, exhibited a similar demeanor. Right off the bat, both officers have now come to the conclusion of asking Miss Bailey to step out of her vehicle. Keep in mind that the reason for the traffic stop was a broken headlight, so it begs the question of why the officers wanted Miss Bailey to step out.
All right.
We're calling the police department
Don't
right now.
touch her.
Don't you f***ing touch
Don't touch her.
We're calling the police department.
Hey. Okay, you need to step out of the car now, given the behavior. Ma'am, step out of the car now.
Go ahead.
Step out of the vehicle now.
89, Road 1 North, 3 Frank Avenue, 1 King Charles.
Okay, that's fine, but I want you to step out of this vehicle right now. That is a lawful order. Step out of the vehicle, or you will be...
My father is a police
And that's
officer.
fine,
You
but
are
here's the deal.
completely out of line.
This is a traffic stop.
Right, for a headlight that's out. There's no reason for me to get out of the car. You need to go
Given
and
your behavior-
write me a ticket and go on.
Given
That's
your-
what
given
you do.
your behavior-
Why? Because I'm annoyed about you coming up here and giving us lectures? What is your goddamn problem? Now I'm trying to call your supervisor or get another police officer out here, but instead
guaranteed. You
you're
guys are
standing
aggressive.
outside my door and yelling at me.
Extremely
You're not even
aggressive.
allowing me to call the police myself. And you're telling me that my
There's no
behavior is
problem
suspicious.
here.
Your behavior is suspicious.
God
I
damn,
am
Becky, you gotta
angry
calm
because you are
down, though.
stopping me from going over
Okay.
there to my house. This is nuts.
Yeah,
You guys
you're
are
not going
bored
to your
and
house.
want something to do.
Step out of the vehicle,
Oh,
please,
you
ma'am.
no,
God damn it,
I am
Becky,
calling
stop.
your
Sir,
supervisor.
can you please calm down? Ma'am, will you
Yes.
step out of this vehicle,
No.
please?
What do you need me to step out of the vehicle
Because
for?
given your behavior right now, I want for you to step out of the vehicle for everybody's safety. For all I
For
know,
everybody's safety.
yeah. And plus, I am asking you to step out of this vehicle.
Just
Will you
because
please
want
step
me
out
to.
of this vehicle?
And you're being like a child because I won't do what you ask you to do because you're police and you have the authority. You have no reason for any of this. You said you needed to know my information. You were asking me questions about me,
Just
who
step
I am.
out of the car,
I
stand back
answered
here,
every
okay?
single question that you asked me. Now, you can go and run that information right there and you'll find out that my record is completely clean. I've never been arrested for anything. I've got no traffic tickets. There's nothing wrong. Just because I have no teeth, it doesn't mean that I'm doing speed
Oh my God,
or meth
Becky, you
or
don't.
anything
Then why
like
would you
that.
say that?
Because why are they telling me to step out of the car? This is insane.
They're not going to stop until
So
you
go and run my name, run my information, and then you can find out who you're dealing with.
Can you stop for a
and
second?
then
Can I
we
ask you a
can
question? Can I just ask
go
you a question?
on.
I know for myself that we were just running to the store and back, and
I
this is
know,
spiraling.
this is-
so
yeah.
now because that's happening, and she is just irate, I'm asking for a supervisor before you end up touching my wife. We are in the influence of nothing. This is about a traffic light.
Yeah,
I'm worried you're about to
write
grab
me a
her.
ticket and
Please
go
call
on.
a supervisor.
By now, it becomes very obvious that both officers had nothing but malicious intentions with the traffic stop. This was quite literally admitted to by the second officer, who blatantly stated that Miss Bailey's attitude and behavior were the reasons why they wanted her to step out. But of course, they still masked this by claiming that it was for safety reasons instead. In general, police officers in Arizona have the authority to order a driver and their passengers to exit a vehicle during a traffic stop if they reasonably believe that doing so is necessary for their safety or to conduct a lawful investigation. This is because the Supreme Court held, in the case Pennsylvania v. Mims, that the order to get out of the car, issued after the respondent was lawfully detained, was reasonable and thus permissible under the Fourth Amendment. The state's preferred justification for such order, the officer's safety, is both legitimate and weighty, and the intrusion into respondent's personal liberty, occasioned by the order, being at most a mere inconvenience, cannot prevail when balanced against legitimate concerns for the officer's safety. Judging by this, even though the officers were technically allowed to pull the occupants out of the vehicle, we can still argue that their basis for doing so was not justified. This was quite literally admitted by the second officer. Now watch as the officers try to accuse the occupants of being under the influence.
I never said you guys were under the influence of anything.
Right,
Well,
and I
but you're
get
telling
that.
us to step
I'm
out of
gonna
the vehicle.
supervisor, please.
Why step
Okay.
out the vehicle?
So,
Why any of
me,
this?
I can
Just
tell you
to be
right
ordering
now-
people around.
Okay.
No, you have my information.
What's your name?
Stop, Becky.
Run my information. Please quit yelling
Becky
behind
Bell.
me.
Becky?
Becky, yes,
Okay.
go run my information. You're
Well, here's
worried
the
about
deal.
me? What? You're worried that I'm going to drive away? Take the keys to the car. Why the hell would I drive away? My house is right there.
Okay.
Where am I going to get? What
Becky,
am I going to do?
Can I
You're
talk?
just... Oh, please, you've been dying to. That's why you got mad, because I rolled up the window and wouldn't let you give him the speech. So give me the speech that you need to give. This is nuts.
Okay, first and foremost, now I'm going to start believing you are under the influence of something because you guys are talking about that. I never said anything
Right.
about any drugs or anything like that.
Great.
That's one. Two, if you want a supervisor down here, it's going to be an hour plus
God
for them
damn
to
it.
get down here.
We've got kids in that house.
Okay.
I know, they don't give a f. They're on their little game, their little power trip. Okay? This is nuts.
Can I call my
Yes,
daughter?
no, I submit.
God damn it.
Whatever the f- you want, I will do for you
Hey,
so I can
hey,
get the hell out of
don't
here.
touch
You told me to
her.
come
You
and
need to
stand
calm
up.
down. Sir, stay in the car now.
Oh my
Don't
God.
touch her.
Stay in the car now.
Don't touch her.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to do nothing.
Stay in the car.
I'm not getting out of the car.
This is overreacting over here. You're like trying to jump on me as I'm walking out to stand at the back of the car. I submit.
God damn it.
Whatever you want, I will do for you so I can get the hell out
don't
of here.
touch
You told me to
her.
come.
You need to calm down. Sir, stay in the car now.
Oh my God.
Stay in the car now.
Touch her.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
going to do nothing.
Stay in the car.
I'm not getting out of the car.
Who is overreacting over here? You're like trying to jump on me as I'm walking out to stand at the back of the car. Go do what you need to do.
As seen in the footage from both officers' perspectives, Miss Bailey submitted to their baseless orders and finally stepped out of her vehicle. Then the officers were quick to charge at her husband, who was still seated inside, yelling at him and ordering him to remain there. Following this, Officer Gilles ordered Miss Bailey to face the vehicle so he could pat her down and place her in handcuffs, essentially extending the detainment even further without a clear reason. It's worth highlighting that the officers, at this point, have not come up with a single reason to do what they were doing. It's almost as if Miss Bailey's reluctance to have the officers violate her rights made them unhappy.
Standing at the back of the car now, mister.
Turn and face the car.
Are
Hands
you
on the
for
trunk,
what?
please.
No, I'm not. No, I've done nothing but drive here. You're not doing this to me. No, you're not doing this to me.
Okay.
There's no reason for you to arrest me.
You are being detained at this current moment in time. The reason being...
What?
Stop.
This
Becky,
is nuts.
stop.
Okay, you
Do not get in that car.
Call the
Please
police.
don't touch her.
I will give you the police number for
No,
dispatch.
please don't.
Get to the back of the car.
Call the-
You're
No, he's telling me he's
done.
gonna
I
arrest
don't know
me.
what to do.
He's telling me he's gonna arrest me.
What are you doing, sir?
You
Oh
are
my
being
God.
detained.
This is
I don't know
dumb.
who to call.
This
Who
is
to call?
nuts. I don't know. I don't even know
Becky,
what
get
it
to
is
the back of the
you
car
wanna do.
now, or I will place you in
Stop
cuffs
yelling
and I
at
will
me.
put you in the back of the
Okay,
patrol
for
car.
What? What are you gonna write me up for? For having a burnout tail light? For not getting out of the car and standing here when you wanted to? For being upset when you're stopping me and all my kids are right there and I can't go take care of them? I don't get this.
Now listen closely as Officer Gilles explicitly admits to treating Miss Bailey with such aggression just because of her attitude.
Okay.
You've got to make up something real quick here for what it is and why
I don't have
you're
to make up
harassing me
anything.
this way. This is
I am
harassment.
treating you this way because of the way you've been acting in that vehicle to that deputy to myself. You flung that door open. He tried jumping out of that vehicle as well. I have half the mind to put both of you in cuffs right now.
Okay, if we had intention on running, I mean, that would have been...
Okay.
This is nuts. This guy is dumb. Okay, I got you. You're the boss. I will zip my lips and just let's go on so we can go back to our house.
You have her information? Yeah. Run her now. Please.
God. Oh my God.
You tried jumping in that car. I want you to keep your hands where I can see them, please.
You're there. What is your name?
My name is Deputy Radford. I will give you a business card if you would like one.
I will. We'll be going down to pay a visit to Yavapai County Sheriff's Office tomorrow. This is insane. Oh, you are making such a mistake. Oh my God.
And that's fine. It's not the first time my job has been threatened.
Your job has been threatened. I'm not threatening your job. I'm just saying that you're definitely making a mistake at this point in time. The way that you're reacting, the way that you're treating people. But those
Becky, I'm going to
things
tell you
not
right
gonna
now,
say
in fact, I'm
anymore.
actually handling this a lot calmer than most others.
Oh my gosh. Well, then you should not be a police officer. That's crazy.
It goes without saying that a person's attitude does not warrant a more violent demeanor from law enforcement. Officer Gilles' acts of disdain towards Miss Bailey, just because of her attitude, technically went against the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office mission statement, which highlights that integrity is our standard. We are proud of our profession and will conduct ourselves in a manner that merits the respect of all people. We will demonstrate honest, ethical behavior in all our interactions. We must have the courage to stand up for our beliefs and do what is right. Our actions will instill public trust and a sense and feeling of protection and safety of each individual person of Yavapai County. In addition to this, under Section 13-5-315 of the Arizona Administrative Code, it stated that an employee shall demonstrate respect, fairness, diligence, impartiality, courtesy, efficiency, and integrity in all contacts with the public and other employees. This further emphasizes that Officer Gilles was engaged in obvious misconduct.
Call Sam and tell him to get the pizza out of the oven.
What's his name?
Joe.
Joe. Joe, do you have somebody in the house right now?
They're in the motorhome.
Okay, if you want to make a phone call to have her take the pizza out, that is fine. Watch her. That is fine. Watch her.
What are you doing? You ran my stuff. Everything is fine on my information. You can't act like there's something wrong with my information.
Ma'am, we're gonna figure this out, okay? You're detained right now, okay? That doesn't mean you're under arrest. You just can't leave right now, okay?
Because my headlight is out. You understand this is why you stopped me.
Yes.
And you're detaining me because I'm very
because you
extremely
swung the door
annoyed.
open and
Okay,
almost
wait,
hit us.
no. I swung the door open. You told me to get out of the car. What do you tell me to get out of the car for? It wasn't because I swung the door open. Of course, I swung the door open because I'm mad. I'm very annoyed. I'm trying to go up to the store, get some ice and soda, go home and get pizza. And then you come up and all of this for a burnout headlight. I have had burnout headlights before millions of times. Never all of this. Never get out of your car. I mean, wow. I'll stop talking. These guys are just, wow. Too bored tonight. So you ran my information and what did you get? Everything is fine, so now what do we do? What do you do now?
We're gonna wait.
Wait for what?
Just gonna wait right now.
Are you waiting for my information to come back? You're waiting for it to come back? Oh, okay. I thought you said you already got the information.
Yeah, we're just waiting right now
For what?
for the information.
But you said you got it or you don't?
We're waiting for it.
Okay, so if you get this information, I guess hypothetically, and it comes back, and like I'm saying, my name is clean, there's nothing going on, then I go home. Is that true? Or are we waiting for another police to come because you guys are going to arrest me because I got mad because you stopped me and started all this to the headlight? Now we're going to make it be longer and longer? Is that what you're doing?
No.
I really hope not. Like, so what you're telling me is if we run the record and the record's clean, then I get to go home. Is that true?
We're gonna figure that out in a second, okay?
Figure that out in a second. You can't give me an answer to that? Oh, Joe, this is going to be long.
Just
Oh,
calm
my-
down, just sit there.
Oh, okay, this is crazy. I've got so much work going on. Oh my God.
And just keep your hands up on the trunk, okay?
You're not even going to tell me. I'm not going to give you the pleasure of sitting right here with my hands on your truck until your backup comes to arrest me to make up your stupid story about why you're going to take me to jail tonight. This is crazy because of a burnt out headlight. This is insane.
At this point, since Officer Gelace was seemingly waiting for nothing, it could be argued that the traffic stop was being extended beyond the necessary time frame. In Arizona, the law regarding the extension of a traffic stop is based on the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution, which protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. While there's no specific Arizona statute that directly addresses unreasonably prolonging a traffic stop or using an extension as a pretext, the constitutional requirement of reasonableness applies to all police conduct, including traffic stops.
Obviously, that's what we're doing, because if you're not telling me, what was the use of getting my information if it doesn't matter what the information is? Can you answer me that?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
I'm like, obviously, it doesn't matter what the information is that you get back about me, right? You've already decided what you're going to do. It makes no difference about my information.
No.
Well, if I'm saying if my information is clean, then we're going home. You're saying, well, we don't know.
We're just waiting on the information, okay?
Right. But in the hypothetical, the information comes back and everything's fine, then I go home. Is that true? You're saying you don't know. So that's why I say, well, then what's the use of the information? Because if you have information that there's nothing, a problem, then it should be pretty clear that at that point, then we go home. But instead, I need to learn my lesson that when a police officer comes to talk to me, I need to be absolutely respectful to him, or he can arrest me and make up anything he wants to and
Ma'am,
arrest
I just asked for your name and you became angry about it.
Right, so you're going to arrest me?
No. Right now, I don't know.
Well, yeah, see, and if you're telling me that you don't even know if my information comes back clean or not, you still don't know, then that means that you're thinking about whether to punish me because I'm not happy with you when you pull me over and start asking me all the questions.
I just
That's
asked
kind
for
of
your
crazy.
name.
Right. So what? And I said, so I don't like what you're asking me. I'm allowed that. That doesn't
And you're
mean I'm
supposed to have a
be
driver's
arrested.
license too when you're
Sure,
driving.
but I mean, you arrest people for not having a driver's license on them?
I never said I was going to arrest you.
Well, you're telling me that you don't know if you're going to let me go. So I'm curious as to what is the thing that has happened here that you don't know if you'd let me go or not. Does that make sense?
During a traffic stop, I have to identify you. Okay,
Right.
you didn't have a driver's license.
Right.
Okay, so I could cite you for that too. Your headlights out too.
Right.
Okay.
So you're going to arrest me for that?
It had already been a good few minutes since Miss Bailey was standing there without being told what was going on. So she went over to her husband to give him an update. Amidst this, the second officer got back out of his patrol vehicle and finally spoke to Miss Bailey about what would happen next. Watch as he implied that Miss Bailey was under the influence of alcohol and requested her to perform the standard field sobriety test.
Yeah, you are. You're waiting for your backup to come. Oh my
Ma'am,
God.
hey, stop.
No, I'm
No.
not going to do
Do
it.
not.
I'm just letting you know.
Go back
He's
there
not
now.
telling me now.
Go back there now.
Because they're waiting for backup to come.
Go back
They're
there
planning
now.
to arrest me, just so you know. They're going to arrest me because I wasn't nice enough to him when he pulls me over about the front tail light. Because my record's clean. So if you're arresting me, that's all that it's for. That's crazy.
Okay, well now, okay, I'm going to ask you some things, okay?
Okay?
All right. So why were you trying to get back in the car?
I was walking over to let Joe know that is very clear that you guys are planning on arresting me so he can know what he needs to do.
Okay. So, here's the deal, okay? Given your behavior right now and how you're up and down, okay? You're all over the place. Will you consent to FSCs for us, the standardized field sobriety test?
If I can do it right here, yeah. I have nothing in my, yeah.
To highlight how ridiculous this ordeal really was, this traffic stop has gone from simply citing Miss Bailey for the broken headlight to now accusing her of being under the influence of alcohol. Such a significant transition of events usually occurs when officers are fishing for reasons to justify an arrest, and this is exactly what they did. Miss Bailey was subjected to the standard field sobriety test for over an hour by the road until the officers finally came to the conclusion that she was indeed under the influence of alcohol. They subsequently placed her under arrest for driving under the influence and took her down to the station, where she was then placed under drug recognition evaluation, otherwise known as a DRE exam. The DRE protocol is a 12-step process used to evaluate a suspected case of driving under the influence. Its primary purpose is to determine whether or not the suspect is impaired, and if so, whether the impairment is related to substance use or a medical condition.
FST chief?
Can I have you take your glasses off for just a minute? And then we'll get a couple things. Okay, I'm gonna have you follow the pen with your eyes.
Yes.
What's that?
Is it the pen thing? Yes, I can follow the pen with my eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna be doing different things in them. I'm gonna be doing some of the same things, but I'm gonna be doing some different things. So try not to anticipate what I'm gonna be asking you to do, because I'm gonna be doing different stuff, okay?
Okay.
So, and it's easier, and this will go a lot faster if you just listen to my instructions, okay? Instead of interrupting me and trying to anticipate what we're going to be doing, okay? Alright. Are you doing okay? I saw that look on your face.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're doing our job.
That's good.
So, I need you to follow this part of my pen. You're going to follow it with your eyes without moving your head. Do you understand that?
Yes. I'm curious, like, do we not get, like, the immediate results back from the analysis? What?
Yeah, we'll get that. But I'm doing a DRE. So, I don't look at that before I've done my, it taints the examination. So after I've made my call, then I'll look at the results and okay, I need you to hold that under your tongue. Hold it with your right hand. because I'm gonna be taking your blood pressure. Here left. Just relax it on your leg.
Oh, more usually very low.
What?
My blood pressure is usually very low.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Try not to talk, because it'll take longer to get.
After another long unnecessary hour, Miss Bailey completed the DRE exam and waited for the results. This is where her innocence was finally proven, and it is also confirmed that Officer Gilles and his partner were both guilty of unlawfully arresting Miss Bailey and putting her through this entire process just because of her rightful attitude against them. Note that it had been almost 3 hours since the traffic stop was initiated. However, even though no signs of impairment were ultimately shown, Officer Gilles still tried his best to point out certain clues to the DRE examiner. Watch as his attempts fail when the examiner blatantly stated that there were no signs of impairment whatsoever.
You have your mailbox?
Yeah, it's 300.
Huh? Is that one?
Yeah, it was. It's like extremely faint.
Because I haven't seen anything. When was the last time you smoked marijuana?
This morning, this afternoon, before I left,
Sorry, I just asked you if you were on any medications or drugs.
not like a medication or a drug.
Marijuana is a drug. Maybe legal, but it's still a drug. So. Well, based on everything that I have, I probably have nothing. So, her heart rate's normal. The only thing that I got on FSTs, that could just be, might not be able to do that. That was the only test. So, I mean, it's your case, right?
What's the decision?
So basically, you've got THC in your system, and based on what they saw out in the field with their FSTs, they saw impairment out in the field, so we're going to cite and release you for DUI.
Okay, beautiful.
Mysteriously, after the examiner had a word with the officers, she ultimately decided to cite Ms. Bailey for driving while intoxicated, even though she passed every test proving her innocence. She was released soon after. As of the date of this recording, Ms. Bailey is planning to file a civil lawsuit against the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, along with the deputies involved. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter.